going on, everybody? Emil here from Bullet Motorsports. Today we have a beautiful 1986 Porsche 928S. It's a 5-liter V8 matted to a 4-speed automatic. It's black on black. It's got 92,524 original miles. If you need any more information, description, full gallery, including underside shots, click the link below and like and subscribe so I can keep putting my face on the screen. Let's get started. Let's get started with the exterior. I'd give this a 7 out of 10. The vehicle is from 1986 and it does have 93,000, albeit original, 93,000 miles, but it shows beautifully. The lines and the body panels are all in great condition. No major cosmetic damage to report. The gaps where they're supposed to be. Body moldings are in great condition. Rear mirrors. Sunroof works. Rear wing is in great condition. There's no accidents on the title. The car does have a set of 225 50/16 BF Goodrich tires, which have about 75% tread on them. Let's just admire the body lines of this thing. The 80s were full of cars that looked exactly like this. Nissan 240, Nissan 300ZX, Toyota Supra, Mazda RX-7. It was just a great time for cars, and it's one of my favorite eras of vehicles. So with that being said, let's get to the interior. Let's take a look at this interior. It's not your usual Porsche interior. 911s were more upright, compact, not so much of the center console thing going, normally just the one shifter, but this is the 928. This was Porsche's Grand Tourer, and it's supposed to be the replacement to the 911. However, much to our benefit, that didn't happen. Gauge cluster shows 92,524 miles upon recording this. Steering wheel shows great. Knobs and switches for the lights all work. Lights go up and down like they're supposed to. Dash has a couple cracks. It looks like it was maybe left out in the sun for an extended period of time. No big deal because it doesn't take away from how good this interior is. Center console is doing great. AC, switches, and knobs all work. No chipping or cracking from the vents or the unit itself. Aftermarket Alpine radio with MB Core speakers in the doors. This is a 2-seater plus 2. So you can fit 2 humans back there. Like 2 half humans. But you can fit 2 humans back there. And the carpet back there shows great as well. Let's take a look at the engine. Looking under the hood in the front of this Porsche, there's a V8. All words that normally don't go together because there's normally a flat 6 and it's in the rear. But this is the 928. This was Porsche's Grand Tourer, and Grand Tourers need to have big, powerful power plants. So they gave it a 32-valve, 5-liter V8 that made anywhere from 288 to 292 horsepower, depending on who you asked. But everyone agreed it made 302 foot-pounds of torque. This is matted to a 4-speed automatic that shifts wonderfully and works great. Under the hood, everything looks great. The insulation would be the first thing that you notice. This does need to be replaced, but with the exception of that, everything else has been meticulously well kept. All the plastics are beautiful, still shine like factory. The intake manifold still has the protective coating, and all the yellows are still yellow, which is awesome. Jumping over to the passenger side, shows just as well as the driver's side. Body panels, moldings, gaps, everything is exactly where it's supposed to be. They show really well. Rear wing looks just as good on this side as it did on the other side. I just can't get over cars of this era. Like, they do such a thing for me. I had a bunch of Nissan 240s growing up, and the Mazda RX-7 always looked like this. It was known as the poor man's Porsche because it had the same basic shape. And I just can't get over it. These things were awesome. You know, 15-year-old me was driving around late 80s, early 90s cars. So I love it. Let's get to the drive. So before we get driving, like and subscribe. And if you need any more information or a full gallery on this, including underside shots and service records, click the link below. Let's get going. So now on to the driving portion. We're taking the car onto 84, which is our normal driving road. We're going under this bridge, and normally you can see how good the car leans into the turns here, as examples from the outside shots you're about to see on the screen. But so far, car drives nicely, turns great. It's a Grand Tourer, so it turns a little big and heavy. There's a big V8 in the front, it can be expected. Track straight, brake straight. Everything seems to be in order. Being a departure from what Porsche normally makes, which is small, high-revving 6-cylinders with the engine in the rear, the 928 was a big departure as it's a big, burly V8, and it was large. It was a 2+2. It's a Grand Tourer. It's got space, you know, luxury and amenities and all these things that everyone wanted in 1986. Still want now. This car was the lap of luxury, so it's the biggest, best Porsche you could buy, aside from the 911 Turbo. The cool thing about cars like this was they were of the era, and if you remember anything from the mid 80s on till about the early 90s, cars just looked like this. The big boxy fenders, the long hood, the sloping rear, you know, very reminiscent of old Nissans and Toyotas. Porsche had its own little wannabe, quote unquote, which was the RX-7. It was called the poor man's Porsche. So we're gonna go up here and make a U-turn and give you some acceleration runs on the way back. If this is something you want to put in your garage, give us a call, 954-363-2261. or visit bulletmotorsports.com. Any of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the usuals. So once again, it cruises great, drives great, doesn't pull to any other side. And then as we went over the exterior, it just looks great. It's a car from 1986, so little things can be expected. But overall, this has just been a great drive, and I could not be more appreciative of something that's been this well kept.
I'll rock with you.
You gotta just love the pop-up headlights and the little cups that rise out. Such a unique feature, specifically unique to this car. Like, even the 944s still had the flip-up lights that we're used to, covered lights that kind of reveal themselves from the hood. But this had these cups that recessed into the hood, into the, I guess, front fascia of the car, and came up like circles. Almost looked like a buggy, the old Manx buggies. So we're gonna go out into this road and you can see how the suspension reacts from the outside. I'm going under a little overpass. Gonna be a couple bumps. First set of bumps is right here. No drama. Big bump here. Once again, no drama. This is something you want to see in your garage. Give us a call, 954-363-2261, bulletmotorsports.com, or click the link below for a full gallery, including description, underside shots, and service records for this specific vehicle. This is Emil signing out. See you guys later.